Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Titan del 86. Here you will find everything from your favorite characters, from anime, series, or movies, such as figures, statues, trading cards, and other limited special edition items. I will show you everything that is included. For example, we will discuss the design of the box, how it's packaged, the design of the figure, the articulation points, the accessories that are included, and we will see our favorite characters in special scenes. And you never know, you might see other characters make special guest appearances, so you can decide whether it's worth getting or not. Subscribe and join me on new weekly adventures. Now let's start the show. Let's go. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is Titan del 86, and today from Marvel and Hot Toys I present to you Deadpool. This is how Deadpool appeared in the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, which is one of the best Marvel movies that I've seen, and it's my favorite movie from the Deadpool trilogy. And I can call it a trilogy now because this was basically the third movie from the Deadpool series. And this is the brown box that the figure is packaged in. Not really much to look at, but let's see where it really matters inside the box. Upon removing the package from the brown box, this is the Deadpool that immediately pops at us, which is a really nice graphic, the box covering, and this is a covering. There's another box inside of it, so this really pops out. The graphic of Deadpool is phenomenal. You have the slash in the background of the box, basically where Wolverine would have slashed in, and you can kind of see the 3D effects there of the metal being sheared off. If you examine the box closely, you will notice that this is a see-through to the main box, which is a really nice touch of the presentation for the design of the box that we're looking at here. So the diorama basically expands and it wraps around the box as you see here. If you look at the background of the box, you will see that it has some shells that have came out of Deadpool's guns. Looking at the back of the box, you have a silhouette of the Deadpool symbol. You also have the credits and you have some warnings there, along with two cut-off figures of Deadpool. There you can see him kind of dancing very goofy. And then again you see more of the shell casings. Going around the final corner of the box is basically the beginning points of the katanas, and you also see the opposite sides of the slash that was done by Wolverine. And it basically completes the full picture of the front of the box, which was spread over the three sections. And I'm really liking the presentation. I think this was a really good one that they did. It really captures Deadpool and what the movie was, with Wolverine being featured in it. Upon removing the cover, you're immediately greeted by the figure. As you see, there's no cover or anything, so you can basically see the Deadpool figure along with everything else that comes with it. In the lower corner, you see the pendant of Deadpool and Wolverine, kind of like the heart shape broken, which symbolizes the relationship between the two characters. Now if you look closely throughout the box, you're going to see these little mini sketches of Deadpool, similar to how you see in the end credits of the movies. So here you have Deadpool riding the unicorn, you have the boom with the explosion, the Deadpool symbol, and you have maybe it's a shooting star or a rainbow. I'm not really sure what that picture is supposed to be, but to me it looks like kind of like a shooting cloud really. Going around the back of the box, again you have Deadpool. You have the symbol being slashed in by the Wolverine claws. Then again you have some more of those images throughout the box. And honestly, they kind of look like chalk drawn sketches, similar to how you used to draw them on the concrete. Now if you look in the corner on the bottom, you will see Deadpool running with Wolverine. I'm not sure if he's chasing him or whatnot, but then you can kind of see the heart shapes coming out of there. So again, I do like the presentation of the box. I can't say that this box was a lot better than the cover. Obviously the cover took everything hands down as far as the presentation goes, but as a follow-up, this is not bad either. One thing I would have liked to have seen more would have been another covering over the figure, just so you're not immediately exposed to it, kind of like what we saw with the Carnage and the Venom figures. As you saw, Deadpool is packaged in one giant blister pack that then has two sub blister packs in it. So the first one's got the Deadpool figure, the different hand expressions, the different eye expressions, which is something that Deadpool is going to use to communicate his expressions, since you can't really see the face or anything. Behind the figure, hopefully you can see it, there's a stand, and then there's also the baby carrier for Babypool. Now looking at the second blister pack, which is kind of really tiny and small, that is the one that holds Babypool. In there you can see that he comes with the 2 bottles and he has an extra pair of eyes. Then going towards the bottom, you have all the accessories that come with this Deadpool figure, especially if you got the deluxe edition like I did. So you have the extra pistols there that are golden versus the black ones. You have the 2 katanas inside the sheath. You have Dogpool, and you also have Zombiepool. And you have 2 options for him, with the propeller or showing the action of the propeller spinning. So not bad as far as all the stuff that you're getting with this figure. I really like it so far. Now here's a quick glance at the instructions. So you have the warning that says be careful with the joints. The other one shows you how to swap out the different eyes, how to install the pistol in the case as well as in the hand. Then it shows you how to install the swords and the knife, and then how to install it on the back of Deadpool, articulation points for Babypool, as well as how to attach the baby bottles. On the second page you have the articulation points for Dogpool, how to attach the baby carrier, how to swap out the propellers, how to install Zombiepool into the stand, and then you have the delicate parts of Deadpool, and it gives you a warning about the sharp edges. And now I'll present to you the 360 of Deadpool straight out of the box. Immediately, as you see, the figure has a lot of very good details that simulates basically what we saw in the movie. Every little detail is captured within this figure. The one thing as first impressions go, the figure is not heavy at all. It feels very light. It feels like it's got a plastic body inside the outfit that you see there. If you like what you see, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. One thing to note though, the outfit, it feels very thin. I would say it's probably no thicker than a regular t-shirt, which to me is a little bit concerning, especially when you look at the fabric. It's not even actual fabric. Honestly, it feels more like it's vinyl. It feels like a special type of vinyl that's supposed to imitate the look of leather. And by that, just to give you an idea, if you think about regular headphones that come with the earmuffs, that's what the material really is here. And just like those headphones, they, for example, I want to say like Beats by Dre, if you remember those, it's basically the same material that you're going to see on this Deadpool figure. So hopefully over time it doesn't crack. I know in those types of headphones, the material eventually cracks over time and eventually withers away, and then you see how thin it really was. So that's kind of what this material feels to me. And hopefully that does not happen to this figure over time. And I think that's why you got several warnings in the box about how to do the articulation points and all that, not to overstress the figure. And that is because the figure's material is really thin and it's really fragile actually. The other thing to note, the materials used for the belts and all that, it looks like it's leather, but it's not. Again, it's also some type of vinyl plastic material. Again, it's not the best materials in the world. It does kind of feel like it doesn't feel like it's expensive material at all. It feels kind of like the cheap type of material, which kind of dilutes from the figure. But if you keep it as a full package, the figure looks amazing actually. The details are all there, and obviously we wish the material was better, but if this is what it is what it is, right? Follow me on IG at Titandel86. Overall, the figure is not too big either. It's not too tall. I want to say it's almost decent size. And as far as the material goes, as long as you respect the figure within its limits, it should do fine in any collection. It really captures all the key points from the actual Deadpool costume, which is why I like Hot Toys, is because it really imitates all the character details, and that's something that we see incorporated here. I can't say much for the material, but overall it does look like a very good sharp figure, especially with what we're getting. Let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on this Deadpool figure. This is the 360 of Babypool. Unlike Deadpool, this one is made out of full plastic. If you like what you see, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. One thing to note, it is very difficult to balance. So good thing the legs have some articulation points on it, so you kind of gotta find the sweet spot for it, especially since it's very heavy center. As far as the sides go, you kind of see you have this giant body with these two little tiny legs, so balancing will be an issue on it. Plus he doesn't have much of a footprint. The one thing that I do like about the figure, and hopefully the camera can capture that, is basically all the details that come with him. He is very detailed. Especially if you focus on the front towards the pacifier, you will see that it has the Deadpool logo. And the other thing, also on the Deadpool belt, you can kind of see all the details. And like I said, it's all made out of hard plastic. Except for the brown belt, that slightly is soft plastic, so it flexes a little bit, but not a whole lot. Follow me on IG at Titandel86. Let me know what are your thoughts on this baby Deadpool. Now this is the 360 of Dogpool. This one, I'm surprised that it came with the figure, but as much as Deadpool was happy to have him, I know why you kind of see why they included him. All the details on this particular dog are done very well. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. As you can see, doesn't look like he's got much articulation points, which we'll get into, but overall the details are top notch. Every little detail from Dogpool is captured in this figure, as you can see here. Everything from the big tongue that's sticking out to even the details within the hair. One thing to note, this one, just like Babypool, is basically made out of all plastic. Follow me on IG at Titandel86. Let me know what are your thoughts on Dogpool. One thing that I like is he's got some really good details, and especially when you look at him in the eyes, right through the goggles, it looks pretty cool actually. Even though I don't know why they picked such a weird dog to begin with, obviously they did a very good job at replicating the likeliness of the dog. Now this is the 360 of Zombiepool, and this one, there isn't really much to look at. It's basically a skull of Deadpool. Not sure how that became an actual Deadpool, considering that technically he's able to regenerate, unless you saw that one particular Deadpool that didn't regenerate it, which was kind of funny. One thing that is different between this Zombiepool and the one from the movie is basically the neck. In the movie, it's got a couple of the vertebrae which go into the neck, but in this one it cuts off right at the head, and the only thing that looks like it moves on this figure is the jaw. I do like it's got some really good details as well, similar to the one that we saw in the movie. Now let's check out what articulation points come with this Deadpool from Hot Toys. So you got good side movement. You can rotate the head. This is as far down as he can look. So this is as high up as he can look. This is as far as the arms go, and the reason because of that is because of the plastic piece that goes here from the shoulder. As you see it, it makes the touch point with the red piece, so that kind of prevents him from doing that. And I'm not sure we're gonna get a 360 out of this figure for the shoulder. It feels really delicate, and that is because the suit is very thin. There's your elbow. There is some rotation on the shoulder, as you can see there. 360 off the wrist. I'm not getting an up and down, and that could be just because of the type of wrist we have here. I'm not really feeling any chest movement, nor side to side on the waist. Here's the leg as far as I can get it. That's as far back, and it kind of goes with the instructions. The instructions basically said don't overstretch it, and honestly the suit that he's wearing is very thin. So if you give him like an intense pose, then obviously you're gonna rip it. which is what we don't want to see here. So this is as far as the leg split goes. There's the knee. That's a lot more than I was expecting actually. This is as far down for the foot, as far up. No toe movement. You could probably get a 360 here. And inboard and outboard. So overall the articulations, they're not that great. Feeling the figure, I could feel the joints in them. So the joints are there for the articulation points. It's just really the bodysuit that's limiting the movement of this particular Deadpool. So I know I was on the fence about getting the s.h.figuarts version. Now after seeing this one, I think I'm gonna have to go get that one too. But we'll see. Now let's check out the articulation points of the Babypool. 360 of the head, no side movement, no up and down. You could get 360 of the arm. Obviously here we have some intersection with the head, but it's actually there. The legs, he has inboard and outboard rotation there, as you see it. This is as far center. Here's your split. This is as high as the leg goes. This is as far back. And he does have some rotation on the toes, so that's good. And there you go. Now let's check out the rotations of Dogpool. So you get 360 off the head. So the head also moves up and down, as you can see. So this is as low and this is as high. This is as far as the legs go, right there. I guess you can rotate them. I'm just not really getting that good movement there. And here you can kind of see all the details of the figure. So there you go. There are not that many articulations on this particular dog. Here's a close-up of all the weapons that come with this Deadpool figure. You can see the bullet details there, the pistol. They got some really good details there, and you could also pull it back so you can see it in firing mode. Then you have the sweet golden pistols as well. They look really amazing. One thing to note is that they're all made out of plastic, unlike the ones that came with Deadpool, which were made out of actual metal. Plus, I think those were more highly detailed than these, but it doesn't take away from this Deadpool figure. Here's a close-up of the katanas, as well as the sheath, and this one's magnetic, so it should be easy to attach into the back of Deadpool, unlike the one that came with Deadpool. Then here's a close-up of the baby bottles that come with Babypool. Hopefully the camera can capture the details on it. Even though it's a simple shape, you can still see some of the minor details on it. The one thing of concern is the attachment feature for it, but we'll get into that sooner. Another cool thing that I like is it's got some more details on the katanas. Here you can see the engraving on it. And then here you can see the details that come on the nozzles on each one of the accessory guns. This one you can see, hopefully the camera can capture it for you, but it says smile, wait for the flash, which is exactly how the pistols that Deadpool carried around. So it's really amazing how they get these tiny details and these tiny parts. So that is something that I'm really liking, that Hot Toys did a really good job on, which is the details, just to make a movie accurate as well. Let me know in the comments what you think. Wouldn't you like a pistol like that? Now here's the golden ones. In this one, you can see it says, "So sorry," which is kind of drastic to basically what happened in the movie. And again, the golden pistols, they look really amazing in person. As you can see, it reflects the light really well. Now here's a close-up of the stand again if you bought the special edition one. So in this one, it's basically taking the shape of a rock. You can see the Deadpool logo there with the slash of the Wolverine. It kind of gives you the impression that it was basically kind of like chalk drawn into the stone. So you can kind of see the minor imperfections. So hopefully the camera can capture that, which just makes it look really cool actually. If you didn't get this edition, then don't worry too much. You're not missing out on a whole lot. I think the main takeaway really for me is the golden pistols, but if you got the regular one, you're not missing too much out of it. But if you are able to get this particular version, then I suggest you go for it. Here's one thing I wanted to show you about the stand. So this is the piece that comes for the stand to hold the Deadpool figure. And something unique that I see here is you kind of see that it's got padding, which I'm really liking, but this is basically automatic. You kind of see that. So this is basically spring loaded. so it's basically a one size fits all. Just wanted to share that with you. For this scene, I gave Deadpool the regular eye expressions, and in this one, I gave them the hand gesture that's kind of reaching out. In this one, honestly, he's just doing a dance sequence from the NSYNC video, which is kind of what we saw in the intro to the Deadpool movie, where the NSYNC song Bye 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 basically just plays right through the whole thing, and you see various shots of Deadpool just doing different dances. So this is one of those dance poses that he does. And honestly, with this figure, as we saw in the articulations, he's very limited, and not because of the body that they use for him, but because of the material that the suit is made out of, which limits the range of motion. But even though with that limited range of motion, you are able to do different dance steps from the NSYNC song. And this is just one of those that I just wanted to share with you, of basically looking at the hand gestures. I want to say most of them are dedicated towards him doing the dance moves that are shown in the movie. You do have a couple of hand gestures that are aimed at holding the katanas and the pistols and so forth, but the majority of them are basically just dedicated to just doing the dance moves, and obviously the heart symbol that Deadpool likes to do. So in this one, it's just basically Deadpool doing one of those signature dance moves. In this one, I went ahead and loaded him up. So you got the dagger on the foot, the two black pistols on it, and the katanas attached to the back of Deadpool inside the sheath. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. I do like that you got a lot of accessories, for example the katanas, the guns, and all that. The details are phenomenal, and it just brings an endless array of what you can do with the figure. By all means, it's not really limited at all. You can have different eye expressions, and you can have them recreate almost every typical scene that we saw in the movie, especially the dance sequences from the NSYNC song. As long as you don't overdo it with the figure, then it's really good. One thing that I like is that the sheath attaches to the back of Deadpool magnetically, so I'm thankful that there isn't anything else extra that you have to do with the figure, because the suit of the figure is very sensitive, or is very fragile. And as you see here, one thing that you have to be careful is the shoulder pads, since those are made out of plastic and it seems like they're just glued onto the figure. So if you overstress the joint, there's a good chance you might pop those off, which would eventually end up ripping the vinyl skin of the figure. And honestly, that's the closest material I can think of that the figure's covered in, just to replicate the suit that Deadpool wears in the movie. One thing that I like about the figure is that he's easy to balance, and a key point to that is the type of shoes that he's wearing. If you look at them, they're really boxy, and it basically allows for good balancing. As you see, they're very flat. It does have some details on them, and the articulation points are good there, which help you balance the figure. And obviously, since we're not able to do crazy poses, so it's another thing that helps the figure. But one thing that I'm really liking is the details. Let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on this Deadpool figure. Follow me on IG at Titandel86. For this scene, I'm just recreating the one where he's about to fight the Wolverine, and he basically reloads his pistols, doing it Deadpool style, where he magically is able to calculate where the magazines are gonna fall, so he can basically put the guns there, so they just magically get in there. So that's what you're seeing here, just to show you how good the figure is. So this is the one where he's basically getting the magazine on the other pistol while he's holding the other one. I gave them I want to call these the action expression eyes, which they're not squinted, and they're just basically not fully wide open as the surprise ones nor the neutral ones. So to me, this one's basically more of an action expression, if I had to put it that way. Again, just doing a safe pose. I'm not overstressing the joints of the figure. I did move the legs a little bit somewhat to indicate motion, but again, one thing you really have to keep a lookout for is how you're spreading the legs in relevance to the outfit. So the key issue here that you don't want them is to basically rip the figure by the crotch, which gives you the imagery of the fat guy leaning over and then he rips his pants. So that's basically what we don't want to happen with this particular Deadpool. So basically just picking the least amount of stress to put on the suit. Like I mentioned, the suit is very sensitive to the movements, so you don't want to overdo exaggerating poses. Again, like I mentioned, the figure, the one thing that it does really good is the details that are incorporated into it, which is something that I like about Hot Toys, is when they make these figures, they really go all the way as far as putting all those key little details. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. And sometimes in those details or the materials that they pick, the articulation points are sacrificed, which is what we're seeing here. So the big question is this particular figure the one that you're looking for as far as Deadpool goes? Keep in mind that s.h.figuarts has their own version of Deadpool that's coming out soon, depending on when you're watching this video, right? So that one, I did see it when I was on the San Diego Comic-Con, and I think that was honestly the biggest highlight there. All the figures were dedicated to either Wolverine or Deadpool, if you recall that video. If you haven't checked out that video, I suggest you go check it out. And it's honestly, I would want to say probably 60% of it, of all the display figures, were basically dedicated to Deadpool and Wolverine. So it comes to no surprise that Tamashii Nations already had their version of the Deadpool as far as the s.h.figuarts variant goes. And I know online they had the Wolverine one, which wasn't there in person, but the Deadpool one that I saw, it was very good, honestly. And you can go and check out that video if you want to see it. But I know it's coming out. I don't have that one on pre-order at this point, because at the time I had pre-ordered this one and I was thinking basically, hey, I already got my Deadpool, so boom boom, box is checked, right? And I picked this one because I wanted the details and everything that came with the figure, which, don't get me wrong, I'm happy with the figure, but the one thing that is missing is you're not going to be able to do those highly intricate poses that you could do with the s.h.figuarts variant. At least that's what I'm thinking based on this history that we have with s.h.figuarts as far as the Dragon Ball figures go. And those figures, the articulation points are phenomenal, and they also have really good details. For this scene, I have Deadpool with the squinting eyes, and I have him holding both of the katana swords. He's basically about to do a counter strike with the swords. And here you can really see all the details that come with the figure. And like I said, this outfit looks really clean. I think out of all the Deadpool outfits since Deadpool 1, I think this one's my favorite one. I don't know why, it just looks really clean if you look at it here, versus the other variants that we've seen from the past movies. And on this one, I added the golden pistols just to finish the look. And I really like the gold pistols because the outfit has some gold portions to it, for example on the hands and in other sections. So the golden pistols, they just round out the outfit to make it complete and whole. He just looks a lot better than with the black ones. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? And once again, just being mindful of the different articulation points as far as the stress goes on the outfit. So this is as high as I was able to get the shoulders. I'm not putting super stress on the seams. And same thing for the legs. Again, one area to be a watch out for is the crotch area where the two legs meet. So you're very limited of how much you can move the legs versus moving one forward and one back. Obviously, unlike an s.h.figuarts that has the cut lines, this one, since they're internal under the suit, so you got to be very mindful of that so you don't end up ripping it, which is again the last thing you want to do with these figures. Overall, he looks really fantastic. Let me know what are your thoughts on this Deadpool figure. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. But even though you're able to do these types of poses, the one thing that I'm liking is the ability to balance the figure. As you see, because of how the boots are styled, I want to say they're boots, I doubt they're shoes, but the way that they're styled, and they have really good details actually. It basically gives you the nice flat surface, which allows you to balance Deadpool. And again, we're not doing excessive poses here, so they're basically very neutral. So they're not too demanding of the figure's capability if we was to minus the suit out of it. Which goes back to the question, let me know in the comments what are your thoughts. Are you basically going towards this Hot Toys Deadpool variant, or are you going for the s.h.figuarts? For myself, I'm still on the fence about it. Let me know in the comments what are your thoughts. If I should go get the s.h.figuarts variant and then maybe we could do a comparison on this channel, or do you think I should just stay with this Deadpool and call it a day? I know I do have the Wolverine one coming soon from Hot Toys, so I can't wait to get that one and we can do a review on it as well. But I know s.h.figuarts also has theirs coming up, and I think theirs comes first, so I don't know about that one. To me, it's kind of like a pair. If you got Deadpool, obviously you gotta get the Wolverine one as well, or vice versa. And I just can't picture having one but not the other one, especially of how the duo really came about in the movie. To me, it was really good. Let me know your thoughts. What were your favorite scenes from the movie? And that is just because of the that is just because of the suit. If it wasn't because of the suit, I think we will get the same articulations that we've seen on other figures, and that will make it a more competitor against the s.h.figuarts variant. Let me know in the comments what are your thoughts. Follow me on IG at titandel86. I have Dogpool and Deadpool. And this one, I gave Deadpool the surprise look, and this is because he was surprised that Dogpool ended up coming out of that portal, if you recall from the movie, and eventually it just jumped into his arms. So in this one, I just have Dogpool licking Deadpool. And it's funny because I wasn't expecting to be able to pull up this type of pose, but if you look into it, you have the right hand gestures that basically allow him to hold Dogpool. And with the articulation points that he comes, it's just enough to replicate that particular scene. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. So that is something amazing that you can do with the figure, also while not stressing the joints. So in this one, I also have him kind of like on his knees, basically replicating the scene from when Dogpool jumped into his arms. Hopefully the camera can capture the details that you can see from Dogpool. Here you could also see the details that come in the shoes. So if you look pretty closely at the bottom of the shoes, you can see all the nice details that Hot Toys embedded in it. And this is another one of the reasons why it really helps the figure as far as balancing goes. As you see there, it's got the trend marks, but they're all evenly. So the weight distribution from the figure kind of helps it to give it that standability. I like what Hot Toys did here. They really excel in giving you all those nicely detailed features. And here, one thing just to keep in mind, you can get them to do this pose. You just have to be very mindful of the crotch area. Again, move the legs closely as possible and didn't separate them too much, just so I'm not putting a bunch of stress there. And same thing for the elbows. Again, they're just basically trying to see what the limits are as far as the range of the motion is, especially in the shoulders because he has those two plastic pieces there. The other thing towards the feet, you have the shin guards and then you also have the knee guards. So you just have to be very mindful of those parts because like the instructions say, they did not come off. I think they're glued on probably. You just want to be very mindful of that. But overall the figure does look fantastic, and the articulation points that you get, they're very, as far as recreating, not too crazy on the scenes, but if you can do like minor poses and stuff, then the figure's right up the alley. Again, like I said, if articulation points is what you're really after, then I suggest the s.h.figuarts is the better choice to go with. But if you want more as far as a simple pose and having a really nice detailed figure, then this is the one for you. So you're basically getting something where s.h.figuarts goes after the articulation points first, then it goes after the details. where I think Hot Toys goes after getting all the details first, and then they go after the articulation points. Then they create the unibody and all that stuff after they identify the best material that follows what they're after as far as the looks and the feel go. And that's what we see in this figure. The material captures, if you was to look at a Deadpool suit, it would basically be spot on. All the little details that you see on the screen here, they're all spot on. The only limiting factor, again, like I have to say, is the articulation. Don't forget to follow me on IG at Titan del 86. Obviously, the eyes, you can swap them out and you can do different combos. You don't necessarily have to have matching eyes, and you probably can figure that out. And they're easy to swap out too. They're basically magnetics, which is good. Swapping out the hands is very easy too. I didn't struggle at all. It was very simple. You do get an extra set of joints for the wrist. I think they figure out that maybe at some point they do get worn out or they become broken or something. I'm not really sure why they provided them, but it's extra pieces, so it always helps in the long run too. So just in case something happens, you have backups. He's got the gold pistols because it looks a lot better with those. For this scene, I have Babypool and I have Zombiepool. So as you see here, I have Babypool with the squinting eyes, which gives him that naughty appearance there, that he's about to do something bad and sneaky. And he's got one of the bottles on his hand, and then the other one is on his waist. You also have Zombiepool. On this one, I used the propeller that kind of shows the motion as he's moving through the air. In this one, he's got the jaw open. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. One thing to note is if you use a Tamashii Nation stand like the one I have here, you can basically just put them directly to it. Obviously, you have to maneuver the head a little bit just to make sure you even out the weight, but it's a lot better to me than using the full stand with the holder, which is something that I didn't want to do. So I got a little bit creative here and I found the way around it. So I'm not using the actual Deadpool stand here. Let me know in the comments which one's your favorite Deadpool variant. Follow me on IG at Titan del 86. One thing to note, that baby Deadpool is very difficult to balance, so in this one you basically have to figure out how to evenly match the weight with moving the legs. Good thing that the legs are able to spread and you can move them, as well as the ankles. If it wasn't for that, I don't think I would have been able to balance this figure, and that is because the footprint on it is really small, and then he's got that giant heavy body to go with it. But overall, the details are really good. Let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on these two minifigures. For this scene, I have Deadpool with the sneaky look, which is also the ones where he's squinting. I gave Babypool the regular eyes that came with him as well. In this one, he's firing some shots in the air, so I have the pistol in the open position just to signify that a bullet has came out of it. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. Here's a close-up of Dogpool. And this one I have him tilted as far as he can, looking up, ready for action. And he just looks goofy with the tongue sticking out, honestly. Then here's a close-up of Zombiepool. And that one I try to close the mouth as I could. And then I changed it so you can see the other propeller type variant. So obviously this one doesn't really match because obviously it's not spinning in the air. But just here so you can see it. On this one, I used the baby carrier so you can see what it looks like on the figure. One thing to note, the baby carrier is made out of the PVC plastic material, but it's also flexible enough just to get them on the figure, so you're not going to get any movement out of it other than what the mold for it is. To attach it to the Deadpool figure, it's got two little straps on the back, with the interconnection point, but obviously it's not really an actual one, so you can just pull them. Just be very careful on it, and then you can attach it and then detach it. And then once you're done, you can just slap the katanas if that is what you're after. One thing to note, Babypool loses the articulation points from the arms and the head once you put them in the carrier. You can still manipulate the legs a little bit, but you're not going to get a whole lot out of it. But he does look amazing. But I'm not sure why they added this particular feature. I guess maybe because you were getting a Babypool and they just kind of thought out of the box here. But it's something that I personally don't plan on using in the long term when I'm displaying the figure. But here it is, just so you can see what it will look like. And again, I have Deadpool with the golden pistols, as you see there, because they just look amazing. Again, if you're after articulations, my suggestion is get the s.h.figuarts variant. Let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on that. If you want me to go and get that one, as of right now, I'm on the fence of whether I get it or not. So overall, it's a good figure to have, especially if you're after the details of the character. One thing that I do like is all the accessories that came with them. You have the katanas, the pistols, and it's the details that Hot Toys puts into every little inch of this figure and the accessories, which does separate it from the rest. The other thing that I like is that not only are you getting the Deadpool figure, you're getting Babypool, Dogpool, and Zombiepool. And if you saw the rest of the catalog from Hot Toys, you have Ladypool, Kidpool coming up. And now they have announced, for example, Blade, Gambit, X-23, and Elektra. So from right there, you can basically start simulating the full cast of the movie, which is something that is really amazing, especially if you're after getting the full collection of the characters from this Deadpool and Wolverine movie. I think for me, I'm thinking the Gambit one should be pretty cool looking. That I personally haven't seen the pictures of what the figure is going to look like, but I think the Gambit one would be a cool one. I'm also thinking Blade as well, but I think it's going to be more emphasis towards Gambit, but let's see what they look like. But you are getting most of the characters that came out of the movie. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite variant of Deadpool. I'm surprised they didn't do the other Deadpool, if you know which one I'm talking about. I'm sure Ryan Reynolds would like to have that particular Deadpool. This is all I have for you today. If you like what you have seen, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and I'll see you next week with a brand new video. Thank you and bye.
Or Van Milder here. Ah, that's funny. I can gently tap the fourth wall too. The proposal.